Hey again, everybody. It's your old pal Guardian Enzo coming to you as always live on tape from Kyoto, here with the 2022 LiA Anime of the Year video. That's Anime of the Year video number 2. And last year was the big surprise. It was Kai Byoe Ramune, one which I was probably on a pretty lonely island in picking that one. I think that's probably not going to be the case this time around, because without further ado, I'm picking Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. And I can't think that's going to be a huge surprise to most people, even if you haven't been following my top 10 list on the website, because if you've been following me at all, you know I have a very, very high opinion of this show, of this franchise. Um, Honestly, well, while it was airing Dance Dance Dancer for a while, looked like it was going to be a very serious candidate. Of course, at that time, the other two more serious candidates hadn't aired yet, and I knew they would provide formidable competition. But I thought that one had a chance when it was airing. Unfortunately, the last arc kind of fumbled the ball a little bit. So it really only came down to two serious contenders, which was Made in Abyss season 2 and Mob Psycho season 3, and it was a close call. Mob never made my 2010 best shows of the decade list, my top 20. It was probably the first one to get cut. It was number 21 or 22. It or Dororo, which aired at the same time, same season as on same day, in fact, on season 2 of Mob Psycho. Interestingly enough, those were really the two top runners up, and Made in Abyss did make that list comfortably. So coming into this year, I suppose Made in Abyss would have been the favorite, but it just this season of Mob. I loved every season of Mob, but they all had a slightly different sort of a focus. Um, Season 2 was a little bit more of the high pitched battles and more action driven, and this season was really very much character first, and that's my favorite mode of Mob Psycho. I don't think, in my heart, Mob Psycho is not like it's not like, say Boku no Hero Academia, a shonen series, a shonen action that happens to have really good characters. It's a character-driven show that happens to have some action, and so the focus for me this season was really my favorite of the three. So ultimately, for me, this was the best season of Mob by a slight margin, as manga readers typically did promise me it would be. And I think, on balance, I probably liked this season of Made in Abyss just a bit less than the first season, which just had an incredible sense of wonder and magic about it. Which it may be that it was only because it was my first experience with that series that there's no way that could ever have been reproduced in a sequel. That experience of just experiencing Made in Abyss for the first time. So I love the second season of Made in Abyss, absolutely, uh, but not maybe 2% down. Maybe it was 98% as much as I love the first season, and Mob Psycho, it was maybe 103% as much as I love the first two seasons. So this is the third season of Mob Psycho. All 3 years it's aired have been probably above average anime years, and it just missed out on Anime of the Year twice. It finally breaks through, finally wins it. Probably fair to say that Mob Psycho is the best franchise, my favorite franchise that had never won an Anime of the Year for me before. So this year it finally does. It breaks through. Phenomenal character arc for Mob that ended just in a really beautiful way. Three tremendous characters at the heart of this series in Mob Reagan and Ikubo. Brilliant production from Bones. Just a loving. This is what it has in common with Made in Abyss, is just an incredibly dedicated and auteur-driven and lavish, just beautiful productions, great music, the music in Made in Abyss, Kevin Penkin, you can't touch that. But Mob, just a great production, even without Tachikawa Yuzuru on board full time this season because he's working on the Blue Giant movie. It still was phenomenal. I didn't see any decline in quality as far as I was concerned. And I was very, very happy with the way the series ended. I was very happy with the conclusion to Mob's character arc, Reagan's character arc, Ikubo's character arc, everybody's really. Um, just a great way to end a series. And I also want to say how wonderful it is that this great manga got really the adaptation every great manga deserves to get, but oh so few do. It got a complete adaptation. A couple of bits maybe rushed a tiny bit, but generally speaking, everything got the time it deserved. It was hand drawn beautifully from start to finish by a great studio in Bones. Had a great director at the helm. Great animation team, tremendous key animators, animation directors. Really, everything a great adaptation should have, it had. And the results were predictable. You took a really great source material, you gave it a really great adaptation from a top-notch studio with a stellar director, and you got brilliance. And I'm glad personally that Mob Psycho finally did break through and win Anime of the Year for LIA. It like I said, it feels like the most glaring omission never to have won it before. Although I certainly wouldn't change any of those years that it happened. I think it ended up in the appropriate place, but this year it finally broke through. Another pretty strong year for anime. Not a phenomenally strong year, but compared to the last couple, I think better, as the top 10 list, which really felt like it needed to be a top 12 list, reflects. So that's good. And I thank you for all of your support this year. Everyone who browses the website, everyone who comments, obviously everyone who supported me financially. That's tremendous. I need all the support I can get. So anyone who cares to join me as a Patreon patron or Ko-fi or PayPal, anything you care to do, or work on something specific for you in the commissions program, I'm thrilled to take on those. Just to try to make this site self-supporting. It's something I love very much, but I do have to work full-time to support myself. So, anything I can do to help this website pay its own way, considering all the time I put into it, that's tremendously appreciated. Anyone who helps out in that respect. But again, those of you who comment, those of you who just follow the blog, those of you who subscribe on YouTube, watch the videos, thank you sincerely to all of you. I hope you all had a great year. It was a tough year in a lot of respects for the world, but I hope you all had a great year. For anime, it was pretty decent. The last couple of years have been rough for anime too, but I think this was maybe a little bit of a step up from the last couple, which is encouraging. Winter season's not looking so great, but there's a lot of great stuff coming up in spring, not to mention Bokuyaba, which is one of my all-time hype series. So, we'll see how 23 works out, but again, thank you for everything this year. Thank you for all your support. I hope 2023 is a great year for everybody, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on Mob Psycho or whatever series you felt like should have been Anime of the Year in the comments, either here or on LIA. And as always, I want to leave you with a special New Year's message. Should old acquaintance be forgot, please stay frosty. Talk to you next year.